Hey, beauty babies. Yeah, it's your girl, y'all, and I'm back to do another retro series video for you. Today, we're going to do a palette that, and a company that I have wanted to do because I really have enjoyed this company's palettes. And then they seem to like lose their way a little bit to me in regards to some of the things that they offered in the way of palettes. And I just kind of like stopped purchasing their palettes because of that. But these palettes, I really, really loved when they made them. And that is the LORAC Mega Pro Series palettes. And the first one they came out with was this one. So we're going to be working with this today. And we're also going to be working with the LORAC Metals palette. Okay, so if you have these two, go ahead and find them. And we're going to do some eye looks with them today. Also, in the way of foundation, I really hadn't decided what foundation I'm going to use today. I think I will go back into an older foundation, and let's use today, let's see, last time I used Clinique, right? So we'll use something else, something skin like. How about the Fit Me? Let's see. A lot of people have Fit Me. There's also another one I like, but I've used it before in another video. I really wanted to try to rotate some different foundations because that's what the retro series is all about. Instead of grabbing on to the newest, latest, most trendiest product, we're going into our stash of things that we have that we haven't been using. So I'm going to go into the Fit Me, and I think my color is it's not that. I want to say, oh gosh, is it cappuccino? I think my color is cappuccino. I think it is. I think it's cappuccino, and we'll keep out the coconut, but I believe my color is cappuccino. Okay, I don't think it's this spicy brown. I don't think so. I think it's cappuccino, which is this one. So let's go start with the skincare first. I've already toned. I did that off camera. I am so sorry about that, but I kind of just get into automatic sometimes. I toned with this Equate Walmart brand of the Sea Breeze and Witch Hazel. Okay. Now I'm just going to hydrate the skin with this Rose Scents rose water. One of the things about going live is that you don't really know how well the feed is being picked up. It's not like Instagram. Instagram, you can sometimes see when it starts to get a little blurry, but here I can't really see it until the video is processed. So if it is a little blurry, I apologize. I'm going to now moisturize. I'm using the Wi-Fi from my home, and my husband is watching something on TV that's also pulling from the Wi-Fi. So I moisturize with 2 squirts of Clinique. This is the Dramatically Different Moisturizing Lotion. I put 2 squirts in my hand. And then I also put 4 drops of the Josie Maran Argan Oil. Stuff is fantastic. In my hand, Okay, so I put my phone on vibrate, and we're going to do that right now. I apologize so much, guys. Okay, it's on silent now. So apologize for that, I forgot. Then I just put a mixture of the oil and the moisturizer on my ring finger, and I go under the eye and then make circular motions at the area where crow's feet usually are. Again, under the eye. I think I need a little bit more on this side. Round circles. We're not pressing hard. This is a really delicate area of the face and the skin. So, okay. Then after we do that, the rest, see this hair already. I'm not putting any on my nose because that gets really oily, but the rest of my face, yes, we're gonna moisturize. Then we go down the neck area. And that's basically it. Okay. Okay. All right. So now that the skin is taken care of, I will be putting just the tiniest bit of this It Cosmetics number 50. It's called the Serum Collagen Veil Anti-Aging Primer. I'm just going to put a little bit on the cheeks. Okay. And what's left goes right on the forehead right there. That's it, because this stuff is so expensive. All right. There's something in my eye. Now just to do some priming with our Smashbox Primer Water. I really love this stuff. I just do. Just have this. Really, really nice. Okay, so time for foundation. Again, we're using the Fit Me Cappuccino. Using my trusty little mirror here. You don't have to go out and buy a makeup palette. You can just get you a cheap mirror from anywhere. They need to make pumps for these. It looks about a pump. Before I put it on, I'm going to do some color correction because I usually generally need it under the eyes. Fit Me is good coverage, but it's not really a full coverage foundation. So I'm going to use my Black Radiance HD color corrector. Also because this will give you such a skin-like finish, you don't want to put anything underneath it that is really, you know, thick. And these work really well for that. I want to put this on. So I'm going to use this side of my Real Technique sponge that is damp. I know it looks cray cray. It's okay. Okay. All right. Now we're going to put our foundation on. Now, when you're using a sponge, in case I haven't said this before, you are using uh, patting motions. I know that's kind of crazy, but you're using patting motions. You're not swiping it. Okay. But if you hear somebody talking, that's my husband watching TV. Our house is pretty small. It's only like 1,400 square feet. So sound travels. So this motion I'm doing is patting. I am patting. Now, Fit Me will give you some time to blend it in. It is not, it doesn't dry super fast, so you have some time to work it in. And it gives you that nice medium coverage. This is also a good foundation for weddings. I've done makeup for a couple of weddings, and I always tend to gravitate towards this foundation for my client because it's very easy to find their shade. Um, Not very easy. Let me rephrase that. It's easier to find a shade for them in the Fit Me line. Um, and then the foundation has good coverage and it gives you this skin like flawless finish, which is perfect for weddings. And if you want to get, if you're looking for like that durability, you can get it out of it if you put powder before you place the foundation on, and then use a great setting spray. It'll last, it'll hold up. But yeah, that tends to be my go-to for drugstore foundations for that particular thing. Now, when I got married, I used Estee Lauder Double Wear because when I put it on, I didn't want to have to worry about anything moving, budging, anything. So that's why I used that. Okay, so foundation is good. Now we can go ahead and put on some concealer. Y'all know what I'm about to pick, right? Oh man, this concealer. Maybe I should stay within Maybelline this time. Hold on. I think I could work that out for you. Hold on, let me see. Okay, I have caramel in this. This is the Maybelline Age Rewind concealer, which is pretty good. So we're going to use caramel under the eye here. This one. Okay. All right. That should be good. And on the chin right here, I'm going to go in with this color. It's called hazelnut. Is actually my skin tone color in this. Now this concealer, Asia Wine concealer, is really perfect for if you just want to put concealer and powder on and go about your business. It's perfect for that. All you have to do is find the concealer in that line that matches your skin tone. If that's possible. They don't have a huge range in that concealer, but they do have a range, a larger range than they had before. So you may be able to, if you're a little lighter than me, a little bit darker, find your skin tone in this, and then you just put that under the eyes and around the mouth, and then use a powder to set, or your foundation powder. Okay, you can use a foundation powder and then go about your business. Or a translucent powder, good translucent powder. You can do that. Okay. Again with the patting motion. And I'm looking up so I can push the concealer in. And then pat it in again when I look down. Okay. So we have highlighted, but it's not super highlighted. You can use powder to give you more of a highlight. You don't have to do dramatic super highlighting if you don't want to. You don't have to do that. And you can still get a nice highlighted look. Okay, I think that's pretty good for me. I might put a little bit more around my mouth. Just a little bit. Okay. I think that'll work. Now we're going to set. And again, I'm going to use my custom blend. This is a blend of Ben Nye's Dolce, Laura Mercier's Medium Deep, and Danessa Myricks Evolution Powder in 03. Okay, so I'm putting on this part. I chose this powder because it has an orange, warm yellow golden tone to it that's matching what's going on. You can use the Maybelline powder. The Maybelline powder is fantastic. I have it in I have it in the hold on, let me show you. I have it in all three colors. This is the medium deep that I have it in. And I have the deep too. Now the medium deep is kind of, it's on the lighter side. This is my backup. I don't know what I'm trying to do. Okay. It's a little bit lighter than what I just put on my face. So I usually tend to use it. I usually wear it when I'm wearing the Maybelline foundation. Not the Fit Me, the Super Stay, okay? I wear it with a Super Stay. Which is weird because it's not the Super Stay powder, but it's something about the hue of it. It works better with that. And I do have it in the deep. I just don't know where it is right now. Okay, so we're going to sweep away and blend in the powder. This is a Real Techniques brush. Now this Fit Me does dry matte, okay? All right. I want to put a little bit of luminosity, okay? And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to just use a little bit of this Philosophy Hope in a Jar. This is called their Glow Drops. These are pretty good. I got these from them as a PR package. One of the few times I've gotten PR. And I really like it. I'm going to use a different sponge once I wet it with my spray. I keep a bottle of water and a spray over here. I'm going to wet it. I'm just wetting the back of my Shop Mrs. sponge, and I'm just going to sponge it on. Just to get that without taking off too much product, okay? I know it's really light and you can't see it much, but it's gonna make a difference. I promise. Okay, now that we have that, what we're gonna do now is some contouring. Okay, because it's pretty much set. Now, I don't really, well, I do kind of set my face, but I think the way I do it is a little bit different. Because I'm really just setting under the eyes first. We're going to contour with the Black Radiance True Complexion palette. This is the darkest one, the dark to deep. We're going to use this color right here, the middle one. And it's very pigmented, so you don't need to press hard. And we're going to go from top to down, swiping up. And I'm making her face. You can do like this if you want to. You see that? It's just the prettiest brown. Oh my gosh. Okay. Then we're going to chisel I just love when I can feel the hair grabbing on. We're going to chisel the chin. Okay. All right. Do a little bit around the hairline. Sometimes I do that. I thought I put it on silent. Then the rest we're going to contour the nose with. Remember, we start up here and come down. I'm just pinching the brush, okay? Okay. All right. We're going to do a little bit of cleaning up. And I'm going to use my Laura Mercier to clean up. The edge here. All right. So you always go right to the bottom and you clean it. You don't want to cover up all of it, but you want to go down to the edge of it and make a straight line down. Now we're going to blend that and pretty much set the rest of our face with the Mineral Skin Finish by MAC in the color Give Me Sun. Looks like. This is just an e.l.f. complexion brush. Okay, and you're going to make circular motions. Okay, so the clean edge is there. You just don't have this super sharp line of demarcation. Okay. I like mineral skin finishes because they're made with mineral powder. So they're going to have their own kind of glow to them in the way they go across the face. The finish is very seamless. It's something I fell in love with first learning YouTube, learning makeup on YouTube. You would always see everybody finish their face with the mineral skin finish. And it was just like this veil of awesomeness would just sweep over their face. And I was like, oh my gosh. And it's still just that great a product. So now we're going to go to the brows really quickly. You know, it just dawned on me, there's so much craziness going on in the beauty community right now. Everybody's making a video about it. I'm not going to make a video about it. I'll probably say what I feel like right now. But certain parts of it I don't even really care about because um some of those people I don't even watch. Like I don't watch everybody who's popular. You know, I got a different kind of subscriber list. I watch people that you may not even know about. There's this lady, she's really great with makeup, but she speaks French and I want her so bad to put the translator on her videos so I know what the heck she's saying. That's all I do with the brows. Brow work, you don't have to get crazy with it. They don't have to look like what you see on Instagram. If you're trying to learn to do makeup too, I would suggest get some Vogue Metropolitan. What's the other one? Vogue Metropolitan is a couple of different ones. If you're a person of color, Essence or I forget the other one, but Vogue especially is really good. You get to see a lot of editorial makeup, which is an entirely different thing from Instagram. You will be shocked when you look at editorial makeup. You'll be like, it's a whole nother world. So I would suggest go and look at a lot of editorial makeup, um, runway makeup, which is usually very, very artistic. Get a wide array of images going on in your psyche, um, and don't buckle yourself down to one kind of look until you'll start getting your signature look will start to evolve. But what I was talking about, the drama, I want to talk about what's important to me. I don't care too much about what's going on with those two individuals who I don't even really feel like naming. You know what I'm saying? So I probably won't. But, who cares about that? Like, I don't know why people are so shocked about stuff. These people with all these, they got millions of subscribers. And I mean, like, millions, millions. Like, they are, living their best life on social media. And some of these people, they don't know what they're doing. They're too young to know. They don't even have a clue. You know how much of life you have to live, unless you are somebody who suffered a hard life and grew up on the streets. And even that's gonna have its own mentality that can only take you but so far. And then you got people who old and you're dealing with a teenager. And what did you think was gonna happen? I mean, they don't know what they're doing. Like, you have to prepare for that foolishness because they're young. And most times they engage in foolishness. I've worked with the student population for decades, and that's not an exaggeration. And if you're going to work with young people, you have to understand that they're going to do stupid stuff. And it's going to happen more than one time. And you have to make a choice as to how much you're going to become invested. Are you going to put yourself in a position where that person can cause you a kind of harm that affects your livelihood? Because there's a difference in helping someone and then just giving them so much till they choke on it. And you have to be wise. You're the person with the experience, with the seniority. So it's your responsibility to gauge, that, not theirs. They don't know. They have no clue. So half of that is, to me, that's my take, is that going on. You really just getting lost in what's going on, not having wisdom to know when is, too much, too much. Okay. Realizing what you're dealing with. You're dealing with youth, the youth of today, that they're different, um, and not all that much different. I was young and I did a lot of stupid stuff too, and if it wasn't for people in my life saying, "Hey, what are you doing?" or me going to somebody who usually bailed me out and them saying, "No, I'm not bailing you out this time," or "No, what you did was wrong," our relationship has changed, suffering from the consequences of that, and having that being done on a personal level without, you going to the newspaper and taking out an article on that person, because that's exactly what's going on. When you use social media, it's like calling a news reporter and saying, "Hey, this person did this to me." That's what social media is being used for. So I'm going to go and tell it, and, you know, when a lot of that, you know, you create that person, you enable what they're doing, but when it comes on you, it's like, "Oh, well, when did you think, you never thought that that was gonna affect you, that whatever this person is doing or however they are behaving, it's gonna fall on you. It's going to come back to you. It always does. That's something that just, that's how people are." So if that person is not making, continuous progress or change, what do you think you're going to be able to do? They have to want to do that. And this age of social media, people get popularity and they get money, you can forget about it. That emboldens that. They're not gonna. So I just found that really weird. I haven't even watched the videos. You don't even have to. All you gotta do is watch other people's videos. Even my Twitter feed. I don't even follow these people, but Twitter, so and so has just posted a video about what's going on with this. I was like, why is this coming up on my Twitter feed? Social media will try to get you involved in stuff you don't even want to be involved in. So the LORAC Mega, this is the first one. We're gonna go in. We're gonna try to do like a very warm kind of look today. So we'll go with camel. Was always one of my favorite transition colors in this palette. So we're gonna go with that. Again, my favorite transition brush. And just, so yeah, when I saw, I was like, okay, here we go. So now social media is going to be full of this foolishness for however many days or weeks. What I really want to talk about is Juvia's Place foundation launch and concealer launch, and some of the ignorant, misguided, and how can I even say this? It's like soundbitey, uh, trendy kind of complaints that they're getting. Okay. I watched somebody's videos yesterday. I think her name is called So and So Tells It All, or something like that, or Tells It Like It Is. I got to do better with people's names. Don't y'all come for me. But she had a really great video where she discussed in depth about the comments that were being made on the Trend Mood page about Juvia's foundation launch. This also happened when they launched their highlighters. And I'm going to say this. I have all kinds of people subscribe to my channel, my little small channel, which is growing. And I love all of my beauty babies. And we are a wide array of people. We have different nationalities. We come from different countries. We have different ethnicities. You know, I have subscribers in India, subscribers, you know, in Spanish-speaking countries, in the UK. You know, I got subscribers everywhere. In the US, I have young subscribers. I have subscribers my age and some a little bit older than me. But I am a person of color who is in her late 40s. So because it's my channel, you're going to see and hear of a lot of issues that affect me. Okay. And that's what my perspective is going to always be about. So I'm saying this to all of you to try to get some of you who may feel this way, to get you to understand how that perspective is just not a really wise one to have. Okay. And when you really learn about what this world is about, you might be able to understand. I know it's kind of hard for a person who's not a person of color or who hasn't suffered systematic oppression. It's hard for you to understand what that's like. So Juvia's Place launched 42, they're launching 42 shades of foundation. I believe the launch is today. It's the 20th or the 22nd, one of those 2 days. We're going to go in a little deeper with this. Let's go in with this brown, and that's what it's called, brown. I know, right? It's called brown. And we're using a different brush. It's got a little more of a point. And we're just going right below that in the crease. Just using circular motions. You can see it a little bit. Just under the crease. And we'll bring it in a little bit. So people who have no clue what Juvia's Place has been about, who are so into their own little world, began to complain and say how they didn't have enough light shades in their launch. And I was just like, I had heard about it, okay? And I purposely didn't go on the Trend Mood page because I had a feeling it was going to be like that. Because when their highlighters launched, that same foolishness happened. And I was going toe to toe with people in the comments who were making those silly comments. Comments such as, well, where are your highlighters for the fairer shade? And they had a highlighter. It's called Nefertiti that fairer shades could use. Where that really comes from, it comes from people who probably didn't like when Black people were creating this movement of inclusiveness. Okay, as you could tell, I have moved to a darker color and I didn't show you what it was, and that's my bad. And I'm going to show you right now. This is espresso. Really deep, beautiful brown. Okay, and I have used a small dome brush. This is small, densely packed, and I'm putting this in the outer V. And I'm just gonna try to fill in a lot of this with this color and then take it in some. Because it's so dark, I'm gonna go back up to the top and blend it out a little bit more. This is a good work look also. Because you could make this natural after you do this V, this work in the outer V, and then just get you a plain lid color and leave it like that. Put some mascara on and leave it like that. Yes?
Miss y'all.
Yes, ma'am.
I want me to go ahead and take the trash.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Okay. That was my home health aide. He helps me out taking care of my husband a few hours a day. Okay. All right, so we are and I'm just blowing that out, dragging it out. We'll call people call that blowing it out. Okay, so we just did outer V work, dragged it in a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the outer corner with the camel. Go back with the camel. And just hit the edges. So if you look at the picture of the shades, there are like 12 light shades in the foundation launch. Some people try to say, oh, it's only 5 or 6. Yeah, that's if you're trying to count the people who look like white people on the pictures and not look at the shades. And that is your fault for having that perception that if the person looks like a person of color, oh, it couldn't be my shade. You should be looking at the shades and not who looks like a white person in the pictures. I know how to do that. Do you know how many times I've looked at QVC and the shade that I was on an Asian person? But I didn't go, oh, where's the black person? I couldn't possibly wear any of these shades. They're not on any black people. That my shade was on an Asian person. I could pick that up with my eye and see that. That's the first thing, okay? Why they would say, oh, there's only 6 shades. It's more than just 6 shades. Secondly, the whole reason why there are companies like Black Opal, Black Radiance, Colored Rain, Juvia's Place, Beauty Bakery, Let me not forget, Fashion Fair, Poisoner. Remember when Poisoner was out? The reason why those brands exist is because of the systematic, institutional exclusivity of people of color from the makeup industry over a broad range of products. We're just not talking about foundation. We're talking about bronzers, blushes, concealers, skincare products, hair care products, you name it. The exclusiveness is there. Why? Because it is in the world. It's in America. It's in the UK. It just is. Globally, it's there. Okay. Racism exists all over the world. Okay. So, of course, it's going to be in every facet of life. It's there. It's there when I go to apply for a loan at a bank. It's there when I go to apply for a job, especially with the kind of name that I have. You know, even though I was born and raised in Brooklyn, my father's from Panama, my mom's from Brooklyn. During the 70s, they had their whole finding their roots, being Afrocentric. I have an African name. Okay, so when it's on an application, it gets chucked in the garbage. I don't get a call, even though I'm overqualified because my name looks black. Okay, so it gets chucked in, and that's not make believe. That is statistical. That is proven. That has been studied. That's just a fact. It just is what it is. If they don't like your name, if your name sounds too black, it goes in the trash. It just does. My mom had to tell me. I was like, I had gotten laid off from the Urban League when I lived in Rochester, New York. Yes. hmm If you know anything about Rochester, you'll understand how that happened. And for a whole year, and I was a college graduate. A whole year I was applying for jobs, and I could not understand why I wasn't even getting a phone call. And my mom told me, and my bishop did too. He was like, your name. And my mom was like, just put your first initial in your last name. I ended up moving and coming to a different area to the south and getting a job because I have some connections already here, people who knew me and knew what I was about. Um, so I ended up getting a job here. But I got a call from a service center also when I came down here. But I did. I had to change my name and just use my first initial. Okay. So I said all that to say it's real. It's not made up. It's not in our heads. It's not, oh, things have changed. They have not. Some things have changed, but the vast majority of people, industries, companies, owners, it's still like that. It's still a struggle. There still is oppression. It's still systematic. It exists. All right. And of course, makeup, the beauty industry, is going to reflect that same type of systematic racism that is in every other facet. It's not going to be exempt from it. Okay. So, just like we have done in other places, people of color are doing it in the beauty industry too. Okay. We found a voice. We found our voice through social media. We found our voice through a lot of the YouTubers who were talking about it, just hammering away at it. And they weren't the first ones. A lot of the black models, um, uh, what is her name? It starts with her first name is a Beverly. A lot of the black models, what's the other one, y'all, with the that has a talk show, and she had the America's Next Top Model. She's talked about it. She's been vocal about it. Iman, who created her own makeup line because of it. Okay. So this is not something new. But what has happened is that because of the invention of social media, a lot of everyday consumers got a voice. Okay. A lot of everyday consumers got their voice, and they started putting their comments out there, and just that barrage, that onslaught of people saying, hey, This is wrong. My money is green just like everybody else's. Where are we? Why are we not there? We wear just as much makeup, okay? And we ought to be able to find our shade in our company. If you're trying to say you're inclusive because you got 2 or 3 shades in there for people of color, be really inclusive. Don't throw us them 2 or 3 shades and talk about, oh, here's one for you. No, that's not. That's not inclusiveness. You faking it. You trying to say you are, but you're not really. If you really want to be inclusive, then you need to have more shades. And people just hammered away at it with social media. And then the companies, they could not ignore that outcry. Because what started happening is that people who were not people of color were like, hey, that is true. How come there are always just like 2 or 3 shades? And that's not right. Some people took heed of it because it was being talked about. Other people kind of jumped on the bandwagon because it was trendy now to be about inclusiveness. Okay. And this is where the disconnect happened. The trendy people who never really understood why inclusiveness for people of color was an issue jumped on the bandwagon and then wanted to take on inclusiveness being for them. Okay. Meaning the palest of the pale colors, which usually also have a hard time finding their shade. But those people who are the palest of the pale and have a hard time finding their shade, that's just dealing with foundation. That's not dealing with education, economy, loans, real estate, the value of your home, getting pulled over in a car by police, shot even though you're unarmed, whether you resist arrest or not. You're not dealing with all that other stuff. This is just about finding your foundation shade. So that inclusivity does not pertain to you because that is not all that inclusiveness is about. When we talk about inclusivity and finding our shade, it's more than just a foundation shade that inclusiveness is about. And that's where people go left. That's where they go wrong. That's where the disconnect is. That's where the misunderstanding is. And that's how you could try to complain about there not being enough light shades in a foundation launch of a company that has always catered to people of color. Juvia's Place has not been, that's not a secret. It's not. It's just not a secret. That's not something that they don't talk about. They've been very vocal about that. We're going into the metals palette and I'm using granite here. I just want to have a little bit of gradient going on. So we're going to use granite and we're using a kind of a flat brush. Granite's got this nice kind of metallic-y, metal metallic-y grayness to it. But it's just going on the outside here. It's pretty. I forgot how nice this eyeshadow is. Okay, so now I'm going to move to amber, which is like a copper color. We're using the same brush. I just wiped it off on my color switch. So if you're my beauty baby, you're one of my beauty babies, and you complained about that, no matter white, black, it doesn't matter to me. But if you complained about that, you don't understand what inclusivity is about. You don't understand why that movement ever even started. You don't have a clue about it. You don't get to take the inclusivity movement and then try to use it against a company that is actually working to help people find things for themselves that they cannot find because of a lack of inclusivity. That is so backwards. How dare you try to use the very movement that we created against a company that's filling in those gaps because of the lack of inclusivity? Like, why would you do that? You would do it because not only do you not have an understanding about what inclusivity is really about, but you're also so absorbed in yourself and so used to being catered to that everything has to eventually become about you and what you don't have or what you think you don't have. I had to leave a comment on that same person's video because there was a woman there who said, oh, because I'm the palest of the pale, I understand what people of color go through not finding their shade. No, you don't. You don't go through what we go through. That was the wrong. No, you don't really understand because your demographic is represented. Your exact shade might not be represented, but your demographic is well represented. Wherever you go, you will see you everywhere. For us, that is not so. So that was wrong of her to compare herself to us because you don't have the same struggle. It's just the context is totally different. Now I'm using Gilded, which is this very rich kind of yellowish gold on this inner corner. Now this metals palette, this is my standard for what, you know, a metallic shadow should be able to do without having to be, the brush having to be wet. That's intense. And I like that. Now you could definitely foil these. These do foil. So you could do that. So what I'm going to do is I want to diffuse this brown a little bit more. So I'm going to go in with this Coastal Scents brush. And there's nothing on this. And I'm just going to diffuse this brown a little bit. Okay. And you really could go to work like this. Even though it's metallic, it still has like a softness to it. Now, are we going to take this up another notch? Sure. But you could stop right here, put mascara on, and go about your business. Me, I'm going to take it up a little higher. Now I want to figure out, do I want to use a supernova shadow by ColourPop, or would I like to use a a eyeshadow, a liquid eyeshadow by a different company. Liquid eyeshadows are made by just about everybody, and they have some of the prettiest. Oh my god, this gold leaf one by Milani is spectacular. There's some other ones. Nika K makes some really great ones. This is one by Nika K. It's called Aykroyd Titan. Oh my god. Ah. And then there's this one by ColourPop. This one is called Astrology. So I'm gonna put on my hand. This is the one by ColourPop called Astrology. You see that? It's like a gold leaf kind of yellow, gold yellow. And then this is the one by Nika K. Ooh wee. How pretty is that? A lot lighter. I think I'm gonna go with this Aykroyd Titan. We'll see how it looks. Okay, so it comes in like a paint, like this what do you call it? Applicator. Oh my gosh. Y'all, this is so pretty. These are like $4 or $5. Nika K, you can get this off of oh, don't get me to lying. It's off of that website that sells elf and what is the name of it? Oh, this is terrible. I bought these such a while ago. I kind of messed up at the edge of this. I ain't even worried about it. I'm gonna go back in with that espresso and try to see if I can. All right, that made it. Okay, we're going under the eye with a shimmer from here. We're gonna go under the eye with this color called Copper and the same dome brush. The TV is so loud. In my husband's room. He's watching a worship service on Facebook. And we're going in with espresso. Okay. I think that'll about do it. Now we can, you could wing it. I don't think I'm going to wing it this time. I think I'm going to leave it just like it is. And we'll just put some mascara. What do you think about that? I'm going to use the CoverGirl Exhibitionist. I am really feeling this mascara. I don't wear falsies, so a great mascara is really important to me. And this mascara, it does not clump. Can y'all see that? I'm sorry, y'all. It gives you length. It reminds me of Too Faced, Better Than Sex. It just doesn't have as much volume. My other favorite mascara is the Bad Girl Riri, which I don't see, which is weird because I love that foundation to death. I don't know why it's not over here. Here it is. It's not Bad Girl Riri, it's called Bad Girl Bang. This one. This is made by Benefit Cosmetics. And I do like this one also. All right, on the bottom, we're going to go with the Maybelline Lash Sensational. Okay. All right. Ta-da! Okay. That's it, y'all. That's really all we doing. I have to go answer this door right quick to let my aide back in. Don't go nowhere. Okay, I'm back. Sorry for this life. Okay, so let's go on to highlights. Once I'm finished with the eye, we're going to use the Laura Mercier translucent glow powder. I'm going to use my wide highlight brush by Sedona Lace. This is the FB03. I really prefer this type of tapered brush to a fan. I like this better. Do you see that? See that, right? Okay. This is a glow powder. The thing about highlighter is that you don't want to turn and see line, contour, clean, okay? You want it to blend in. You want it to look like light is hitting your face in that particular place. That's what you want it to look like. I don't mind on the nose, but it's got to be blended in. I just really, really like it and how it easily it spreads over the texture on my skin because I have polyps and stuff like that. So what I'm gonna do now is I usually like to use this brush for that, but I'd rather use this. I'm gonna go back over, okay, with this powder brush and just okay, blend it in even more. These circular motion. Okay, give it a little bit more subtlety. And now for our lip. So you could do a red lip with this. I think I'm just going to, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I always say that, but I really don't always know. I'm just kind of going with it. And whatever comes out is what comes out. We'll try to do a brown lip. I don't know if that's what I'm gonna stick with, but we'll try it. Let's go with this BFF3 by ColourPop. Okay. Not really a big fan of, I don't know. It's just like BFF and me don't get along. I don't know why, but we don't. This is Quickie. This is supposed to be like a nude. Now watch when I put this on, this isn't gonna work. I mean, it sort of kind of works. Let's try a Moxie lip gloss on top and see if we want to leave it like this. We're going to use this Moxie lip gloss in the color Attention Seeker. Okay, that actually does work. I was proven wrong by makeup. It does that sometimes. It proves us wrong. So I need some earrings, don't I? Let's put on some earrings. Let's put on some hoops. These hoops. Hoopity hoop. The hoopity hoop. I like hoops. I know I have on gold eye thing and silver hoops. I believe the term for that is called mixed metals. I'm just being funny, but yeah, there is a term for that when you mix metals. Put gold and silver together. Okay, y'all. So you know you got to spray it down again. I see people covering their eyes. And I'm like, oh, why are we doing that? Why are we? I guess this will take off the eyeshadow. I've never experienced that, but that's what people do. And I guess that does happen. I haven't seen it. That was a Smashbox. Now we're going to use a hard candy setting spray. This is the Sheer Envy Longwear, 12-hour longwear one. If you like the Milani one, but the $15 thing is giving you a hard time, try this one. It's only $6. Okay. What do you think? I like it. This is using, going way back in your stuff, using the LORAC Mega Pro, the first one, and the metals palette, and the extra added bling was the, and I put it away just that quick, was the, here it is. The extra added bling was the Nika K Radiant Liquid Eyeshadow in the color Ochroid Titan. And that's the extra bling. Just really simple, really simple. Okay. And you don't have to use the extra bling, but I just, because I'm me, I just a little bit extra. And I like the lippy. I had to give it a little bit of shine. And it's more on the peachy side, so that works for me. And that's it, y'all. Again, this unit that I'm wearing is called the Brooklyn. It's by Outre. And this is in the DR30. Love, 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 love. This unit is just like really nice hair. This is good job interview hair. This is good evening out hair. This is good, dinner date hair. This is, it's just really nice. And that's it, y'all, for the video. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Really done. Hope you enjoyed it. Okay. Make sure you comment down below what other old palette would you like to see in an upcoming video. Okay. Some of you were saying Too Faced palettes. I don't have a lot of Too Faced palettes because their track record with chalkiness and shadow has just been so hit or miss. I don't buy their palettes. So if you have any Too Faced palettes and you want to see, I probably won't be able to help you with Too Faced palettes. I'm sorry. I think I have like maybe one Christmas palette from them, just one. Um, but I do have a few Tarte palettes and more LORAC palettes. I have some Beige Cosmetic palettes. I've got Pat McGrath Juvia's. I've got a lot of Bad Habit Beauty palettes. I've got ColourPop palettes. I've got some Lime Crime palettes. I've got Makeup Addiction palettes. I've got some Morphe palettes. I've got quite a few palettes. I've got some ABH palettes. So yeah, dig in your stuff. Dig in your stuff. Let's get retro with it. All right. All right. I love y'all, and I will see you in the next live video. Now to turn this thing off again.